who will take possibly the championship record of Ireland, or will Ireland's championship record exist? So out in lane 9, it's the Belgian quartet. Here you have the Italian quartet. Alice Mangione was part of their team 2 years ago that took the medal, took the bronze medal. Paula Sevilla is a European Indoor Championship medalist. She'll be part of this. Bianca Hervas, also a very proficient 400-meter runner. This is the team I think that are favourites, because look who's there. Karsten Warholm, the world 400 meters record holder, an Olympic champion, and multiple world champion, and he'll be in the lead-off leg. This is the British team. Yemisi John is a high-class 400-meter runner who will be a contender in the 400 meters individual later in the week. For France, this is their quartet. Samuel Vessa is one of the breakthrough 400-meter men, and he'll be going as one of the medal hopes in the 400 meters later this week as well. The Dutch team, no Femke Bol, and how much will that affect their medal hopes? Natalia Bukoviecka, the European champion 2 years ago, the powerhouse of this team for Poland, but also this man, Max Ved, European indoor silver medalist from Apeldoorn in the Netherlands last February, 12 months. Strong team by Poland, that's to be expected, but the Norwegian team, not only do they have Karsten Warholm in picture there, they also have Henriette Jæger on the anchor leg, and she is a 49.15 personal best. That's in the territory close to what Rashida Adeleke's personal best is. And of course, Adeleke, part of the team that helped Ireland to victory in this relay 2 years ago, and also 4th in the Olympic Games, 2nd in the last European Championships. And that's the measure of how good that PB of Henriette Jæger is. So Norway may well be the favorites. But this is the first leg. In lane 2, Max Ved has gone off pretty quickly. Jonas Pfeiffers of the Netherlands, they're all fairly evenly split. Even Karsten Warholm is in lane 6, taking it measuredly over the first 250, but expect his 400-meter hurdle strength to have its effect as the stagger unwinds. Don't be fooled by the level to which that stagger is still apparent, because the changeover is not the full stagger of the relay. That will only materialize in its totality on the back straight. And now, when they start to break in towards the inside lane, we will see exactly. Strong figure of Lieke Klaver, part of the Dutch team that did so well in the mixed relay, part of many Dutch teams which have won medals. And of course, she was part of the team who ran the same leg as Rashida Adeleke 2 years ago. And Klaver and Amelie Juel of Norway with a good 7 meters between them. And Amelie Juel of Norway is a fine 400-meter hurdler, leg 3. And the Dutch have the baton now with Terence Agard. He is being chased down by the Norwegian third leg runner, and that third leg runner, Kulseng, is giving way. And that looks like France and Samuel Vessa, who's taken the lead in the second position, chasing Terence Agard. Oh, it's Great Britain, in fact, in second place. And Great Britain are running an absolute stormer in second place. And the British team powered on by Toby Harries. And it's Norway are right there. And here comes surely, and that looked like the Dutch baton was. Did the Dutch baton change? It did. So the Netherlands have the lead. But now watch Henriette Jæger on the inside there. Yemisi John can match Henriette Jæger almost pace for pace. But van der Schoot is at the pin of her collar to try and hold on to this lead, because she's got two very high-quality 400-meter women chasing her down into the home straight. It's another thriller in the mixed relay, and it's Yemi Sijon chasing van der Schoot, and Henriette Jæger is digging deep, and Henriette Jæger is showing the class that she's the best under-23 athlete from 2025, and she's going to win it by a mile. A storming final 100 from Henriette Jæger, perfectly measured. Britain takes silver and the Netherlands the bronze, and that was on from the moment Henriette Jæger got the baton within striking distance. Yemi Sijon could almost think that she could go pace for pace with Henriette Jæger for 300 meters, but in the last 100, Jæger, who is so strong, has powered her way and powered Norway to a championship record, beating Ireland's championship record by only around 0.3 of a second. Norway take the gold medal, Great Britain the silver, and the Netherlands the bronze. And we've still got the women's 100 to come, so much more to come.
This race before a single step was taken. Georgia Hunter Bell entered Glasgow with a 1:55.93 to her name, a UK Championships record, and one of the fastest 800 meters performances on the planet in 2026. And yet the most important thing she did in this semi-final was choose not to use it. That is the counterintuitive truth at the heart of championship middle distance racing. The athlete who controls her speed, rather than unleashing it, almost always wins the round. By the end of this breakdown, you will see exactly where Hunter Bell made that choice, why it was correct, and what it cost the runner who got it wrong. The second women's 800 meters semi-final at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow had 3 automatic qualifying places. With the final already in sight, each of the 8 starters had to answer one question: how much do I spend now, and how much do I keep for later? Lesotho's Mankoba Tsibela answered immediately and aggressively. She took the lead from the gun, moving through the opening 200 meters in roughly 28 seconds flat. That is a front-running tempo, not suicidal, but fast enough to force every runner behind her to make a decision within the first curve. Gemma Reekie, racing before a home crowd in Scotland, slotted directly behind Tsibela. Second wheel, protected from wind, close enough to react to any surge. Hunter Bell settled further back, roughly 4th or 5th. From the outside, that looked like restraint. In practice, it was a calculated read of who was doing the early work and who was storing energy for the second lap. The field reached 400 meters in approximately 58.69 seconds. That split matters. It put the race on a trajectory for a sub-2-minute finish, and sub-2-minute semifinals at major championships are not soft qualifying runs. They are real races, and athletes who treat them as anything less tend to find themselves outside the automatic places when the bell rings. Here is the part that does not make sense on the surface. Tsibela, Lesotho's national record holder, was pushing this pace voluntarily. She was not being dragged. She was setting terms. For a runner representing a nation rarely seen at this level of a global championship, that is not recklessness, it is an assertion. She had earned her lane, and she was going to race it. The second lap began, and the arithmetic caught up with Tsibela. A 28-second opening 200 meters creates an oxygen debt that compounds. As her cadence shortened and her arm drive stiffened, the runners who had conserved began to move. Hunter Bell's transition was gradual and controlled. She did not lunge. She did not sprint early. She moved one position, then another, over roughly 150 meters of the back straight. That kind of sustained, metered acceleration is one of the harder skills in middle distance running. It requires the athlete to trust her pace judgment under fatigue, to push without overcooking the effort before the final curve. Sarah Billings was doing the same. She had run an intelligent first lap, staying clear of early contact while remaining close enough to accelerate into the mix. These two were executing what coaches call controlled predation: wait, read, strike when the front runners start to fade. Oratiel Nawe of Botswana, Another national record holder and one of the season's fastest performers in the event was also still live. She had roughly 1:59 pace in her legs and the experience to hold position through the jostling of the final curve. Then the race's single most consequential moment arrived, not at the finish line, but at the top of the final straight. Lieke found herself boxed. Runners on her inside, runners on her outside. Nowhere to go without spending extra energy to get around the field. In a 3-qualifier race, with the clock somewhere between 1:45 and 1:50 into the effort, even 2 extra meters wide is measurable. A forced wide arc at race pace adds lateral ground reaction force without adding forward velocity. The athlete works harder to cover more distance for the same competitive gain. What is striking about this moment is how quickly a championship semifinal shifts from tactical to desperate. Lieke had done almost everything correctly. Her positioning at 400 meters was sound. Her first lap effort was controlled. But one congested bend, with 1 meter of space denied, changed the calculation entirely. Hunter Bell faced none of that friction. She had room on the rail. She accelerated through a clear lane. Over the final 100 meters, her mechanics stayed composed. Upright posture, full arm extension, a stride that did not shorten under the pressure of the finish straight. That composure comes from having enough left in reserve that the body does not revert to panic mode. The official result: Hunter Bell, 1:59.88. Billings, 2:00.05. Now, 2:00.60. Adele Tracy fourth in 2:01.54. Lieke fifth and out of the automatic places. Less than 2 seconds separated 5 runners. In a championship 800 meters, 2 seconds is an enormous spread. It tells you that at least 3 athletes ran close to their limits, and that the difference between qualifying and not qualifying came down to a few decisions made at specific moments in the race. Would you have made the same call as Hunter Bell at the first bend, when the easy move was to push to the front? That instinct to chase the leader is almost universal, and almost always wrong in a round race. The answer is to let someone else pay the early bill. The deciding factor was not fitness. Every runner in this field was fit enough to qualify. It was tactical sequencing: who spent energy at what point, and whether that spending matched the demands of the moment. Hunter Bell's 1:55.93 at the UK Championships was raw capacity. This 1:59.88 was something rarer: the discipline to run exactly as fast as the situation required, and no faster. For the final, that reserve mattered. She went on to run 1:59.51 to win the gold medal, defeating world champion Lilian Odira. The margin between the semi and the final was less than 0.4 of a second. She had held almost nothing back from her competitive ceiling, but she had avoided unnecessary effort. That distinction is everything. The lesson for watching any future 800 meters: track the 400-meter split, then watch which athletes are still moving smoothly at the 600-meter mark. The runners who look effortless at 600 are the ones who managed the first lap correctly. The ones who look labored have already spent the currency they needed for the final straight. Championship 800 meters is not a sprint with extra distance. It is a debt management exercise over 2 laps, and the athlete who borrows least in the first lap usually has the most to spend when it counts. One more question worth sitting with: does a tactical semi-final like this actually prepare an athlete for a final, or does it leave the body understimulated? Comment your take below. It is a debate that coaches genuinely disagree on, and your instinct probably aligns with one school of thought or the other. If you want more race breakdowns at this level of detail, subscribe and hit the bell. Every video goes deeper than the broadcast, because the broadcast shows you what happened, and we show you why.